Hey everybody, it's Ron from Pick Dawgz, and this is Ron's Rundown. We're going to go over the MLB games scheduled for Monday, July 28th, 2025. And if you like this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Put your baseball picks in the comment section below. And if you're looking for my best bets, including my daily rundown best bet in Major League Baseball, you can find those at the Premium Picks tab at pickdawgz.com. There's also a link in the description. Alrighty, here we go. Here are the games for Monday, Major League Baseball. First up, the Toronto Blue Jays and the Baltimore Orioles. We've got Chris Bassett and Zach Eflin as the starters. The Blue Jays lost on Sunday in blowout fashion, but had a great series overall in Detroit, taking 3 of 4 over the Tigers. And at the time, going into that series, the Tigers had the best record in the American League. But now it's the Toronto Blue Jays at 63 and 43. Nice cushion in the American League East as well over the Yankees, second place Yankees. I think they take a game in this one, the first game here in this series. I like the Blue Jays on the money line at a reasonable price. I mean, Zach Eflin just hasn't really been the ace-level starter that the Orioles hoped he would be. Obviously, injuries have played a role, but in his first start back, 5 innings, 2 runs. Wasn't a miserable outing, but wasn't good enough for the Orioles to pick up the win, and the Orioles have now lost his last 4 games as a starter. I think we see the Blue Jays offense continue to roll, and I think Bassett's going to be good enough. I'm going to roll Toronto in this one on the money line on the road. Next up, we've got the Diamondbacks and the Tigers. We've got Eduardo Rodriguez and Casey Mize as the starters. Both of these teams, they lost their weekend series. The Diamondbacks against the Pirates in Pittsburgh. Tigers, of course, at home against Toronto. Diamondbacks have not been playing great baseball, but I do think they have a pitching advantage in this game. Not necessarily because Rodriguez is the better starter, but I think he's in better form. He obviously is coming off a solid outing, shutout performance in 6 innings, while Mize just got hit up by the Pittsburgh Pirates. And the Tigers have not been great against left-handed pitching in the last month. They're second to last in team OPS against lefties in the last 30 days. So I'm going to take the Arizona Diamondbacks in this one. I still trust their lineup against a right-handed pitcher. I think they bounce back. They're not facing Paul Skeens here. I'm going to roll with Arizona on the money line. Next up, we've got the Rockies and the Guardians. We've got Bradley Blaylock and Slade Cecconi as the projected starters. I just can't get there with the Rockies in this one. I love a good road underdog, but this is a situation where the Rockies got outscored in the final 2 games of their series with the O's 23-1, including that 18-0 loss on Saturday. And Blaylock, he pitched pretty well in his last game, but had no strikeouts in 5+ innings. The Guardians, their offense has not been great this season. This should be a lower scoring game, but Cecconi should go 5-6 strong, hand it over to a good bullpen, and that should be enough for a Guardians win and a Guardians run line cover. Not my favorite game on the board. There's no value in a game like this, but I'm going to lean towards Cleveland and lay the 1.5 runs. Next up, the New York Yankees taking on the Tampa Bay Rays. We got Drew Rasmussen and Cam Schlittler as the starters. Now, Rasmussen's definitely had the better season so far. I mean, Schlittler's only had 2 starts at the Major League level, but I think that, you look at the Rays' performance this weekend in Cincinnati, just really rough. They didn't do much of anything offensively on Sunday. Brady Singer was not really pitching too well going into that start, and somehow he went 7 1/3 of 1-run ball, 7 strikeouts. And, Schlittler's got some upside. He's got good strikeout stuff. I think he pitches pretty well in this game, and I don't really love this Rays lineup right now. And, Yandy Diaz could be on his way out. We'll see if maybe he even gets traded before this game. But I think that, Rasmussen, while he's had a great season, recently he's been beatable. His ERA was in the low 2s. Now it's in the high 2s. And he's coming off a start against the Chicago White Sox of all teams. 4 innings, 2 runs, a walk given up. He didn't pitch deep into that ball game. I think the Yankees find a win here. I'm going to go with New York on the money line. Next up, we've got the Dodgers and the Reds. We've got Yoshinobu Yamamoto and Chase Burns as the projected starters. Now, I think the Dodgers have a pretty sizable advantage in this game. They have a bullpen advantage, even though that Dodgers bullpen's not been great all the time this year. In terms of availability for the Cincinnati Reds, Terry Francona is not afraid to use relievers in 3 straight days, and we saw that with a couple of pitchers in the Reds and Rays series, Emilio Pagan included, their closing pitcher, pitched on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Now, I would be absolutely shocked if he went on Monday, even in a save situation for Cincinnati. So I think it puts an already not so great bullpen, in my opinion, in terms of the underlying numbers, the expected numbers, and they're ranked 24th in projected WAR, in a tough spot, an even tougher spot, because you got 2 of your best high leverage arms that, in my opinion, have to be completely unavailable. And then even Graham Ashcraft pitched both on Friday and Saturday, I think 20+ pitches. So he could go on Monday, but it'd still be a little bit of a stretch, in my opinion, for a pitcher that's used to being a starting pitcher and getting 4 or 5 days off in between his outings. So I think the Reds are in a tough spot here. I think Burns can pitch pretty well, but because he's obviously got an ERA above 6, his control's been a little bit off in terms of missing inside the zone, giving up sharp contact. I think the Reds are in trouble in this game. I think that we see a Dodgers blowout win, especially after a couple of losses in the weekend series with the Red Sox. I look for some, a frustrated effort here from the Dodgers. I'm going to take them on the run line, maybe even lay 2.5 runs to get some plus money. Next up, we've got the Braves and the Royals. We've got Rich Hill for KC, but no official starter right now for Atlanta. As bad as the Braves have been on the road this season, and as bad a form they're in right now, when you look at their weekend series with Texas, there's just no way I can back Rich Hill and the Royals in this spot. I mean, you give Rich Hill credit for his season debut of 5 innings of 1 earned run baseball, but still, going forward, I do expect major regression. Only 1 strikeout in that 5 innings against the Cubs. Still ended up being a 6-0 Cubs win. And I think we see the Braves offense show up in this one, so we'll see who their official starter is. But right now, I'm leaning towards the Braves on the road. Next up, we've got the Red Sox and the Twins with Richard Fitts and Simeon Woods Richardson as the starters. Now, I've mentioned, I think these are the 2 of the better bullpens in Major League Baseball. And the difference for me in this matchup is the fact that the Red Sox played in some close games this weekend and some wins over the Dodgers on Saturday 4-2 final, on Sunday 4-3. And because of those games and the save situations, we saw Aroldis Chapman pitch both Saturday, Sunday. We also saw Justin Wilson pitch in both Saturday and Sunday's games. So 2 of the top relievers in this bullpen, including the closing pitcher, are unavailable, most likely, unless Terry Francona joins the Red Sox again and stretches a pitcher 3 straight days for Boston. So I think that the Twins have the bullpen advantage in this particular matchup. I think that Woods Richardson, while he wasn't his best in his last game, has been pitching definitely a lot better in his last 5 games overall. I'm not in love with Richard Fitts on the other side. So while not a lot of people like back in the Minnesota Twins in 2025, I think it's a good spot for them. I think they bounced back from a pretty rough Sunday showing. Give me Minnesota on the money line in this one. Next up, we've got the Cubs and the Brewers. Great matchup here. This is going to be a great series between 2 teams tied for the National League Central lead at 62 and 43 with their records. Matthew Boyd, Jacob Misiorowski, 2 starting pitchers that are in great form. Misiorowski a little bit shaky in his last game, but still, this should be a great series between these 2 rivals. For me, the difference in Game 1, and honestly the difference in this series, is the Brewers, obviously playing at home, but having the bullpen advantage. I think this Brewers bullpen is much stronger than the Cubs, and we'll see what the Cubs do at the trade deadline to bolster that bullpen. I think they need to make a couple of moves, but right now in their current state, I think that Misiorowski can go 5-6 strong. I think Matthew Boyd can go 6-7 strong, and I think that in a close game late, the Brewers have the advantage. I'm going to roll Milwaukee on the money line, lean towards the under, but I do think the Brewers find a way to win this game. Next up, we've got the Philadelphia Phillies taking on the Chicago White Sox. We've got Christopher Sanchez and Davis Martin as the starters. Christopher Sanchez has been unreal, and I've mentioned I don't really love Davis Martin long-term in this White Sox rotation, just in terms of his expected numbers. I do expect some regression going forward, but it's really tough to go against these White Sox on the run line right now. They've covered after Sunday. They didn't look like they were going to cover on Sunday, but they were down 5-1 in the bottom of the 8th. They had a 3-run shot from Andrew Benintendi with 2 outs to lose 5-4 and cover 9 of their last 10 run lines. Most of those, obviously, all of those as underdogs, and a lot of those were outright victories over the Pirates and the Rays, and then the first game of this Cubs series. But Chicago, the White Sox, they've been very competitive recently. Sanchez is coming off a complete game, 1-run performance, 12 strikeouts, but I think this is going to be a close game. This Phillies offense has been inconsistent. This Phillies team has not been great on the road. They're a game above 500 on the road, so just a very mediocre team away from Citizens Bank Park. I'm going to take the White Sox plus the 1.5 runs, and I'm going to look for a lower scoring game. Next up, we've got the Marlins and the Cardinals. We've got Edward Cabrera and Andre Palante as the starters. The opening line has the Cardinals as the favorite. I think this line goes through 0, and we see Miami as the road favorites in this one, even though we love taking Miami as a road dog, not necessarily as a road favorite, but get on the price while you can. Hopefully, by the time the video posts, it's still a pretty good plus money price with Miami. I think the Marlins should be favored in this game. Palante is not in good form. Cabrera is, and I think he's the much better starting pitching option going forward. Marlins have been a very competitive team on the road, and I think they're going to have the better end to the second half of the season. I'm going to roll with Miami here on the money line. Next up, the Nationals and the Astros. We got Brad Lord and Framber Valdez as your starters. Nationals not so great against lefties in the last month. The Astros with Fromber, I think, will be able to pick up the win and the run line cover. But you have to give credit to the Nationals for playing competitive baseball at Target Field over the Twins with another big win on Sunday. I'm going to lean towards the Astros, though, in this one on the run line. Next up, we've got the New York Mets and the San Diego Padres. Frankie Montas and Dylan Cease are your starters. Dylan Cease has good numbers against this current Mets lineup, and I'm still not a big fan of Frankie Montas in this rotation, even though he pitched well in his last game, and he's been better as of late since his season debut. But I still think Cease is the much better option in this game, and I think that the Padres bullpen can keep up. Padres, they've been a very inconsistent team offensively, but I think they pick up the win at Petco Park, where they're now 13 games above 500 in the year. Mets are a few games under 500 on the road. Give me San Diego money line. Next up, we've got the Pirates and the Giants. We've got Mitch Keller for Pittsburgh. No official starter right now for San Francisco. I think I'm going to lean towards the under right now, but I also think the Pirates could be a play here with Mitch Keller pitching really well as of late. I know the Pirates have been dreadful on the road this season, but I still don't love this Giants offense. And while you could say you guys score runs to win for the Pittsburgh Pirates, I think it's the same thing for San Francisco. I like this Pirates bullpen. I'm going to roll Pittsburgh in this one and the under. Next up, we've got the Mariners and the Athletics. We got Luis Castillo and J.P. Sears as the starters. Now, obviously, it's been a very disappointing season for the Athletics, but I mean, you could argue they're playing their best baseball this season. A 4-game sweep on the road against the Houston Astros, the division-leading Houston Astros this weekend. Their offense was on a roll. They are playing really good baseball right now. And with the Mariners, coming off a really lackluster showing on Sunday, I think this is a spot we take the A's again. I know they've not been great at home this season. J.P. Sears, he's been another one of those starting pitchers that have just not pitched well in the minor league ballpark in Sacramento. But the Mariners have not been anything special against left-handed pitching in the last month. I think that the Athletics will be able to get to Castillo for a few runs. I'm going to roll the A's at a solid price on the money line. And that's it. Those are the games for Monday in baseball. Hope you enjoyed this video. Again, if you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at the Premium Picks tab at pickdawgz.com, and there is a link in the description. As always, this is Romanelli. Good luck.